You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network, the home of the Options Podcast. For more quality options programs, visit theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app available in the iTunes and Google Play stores. Select programs are also available via live stream at mixlr.com/options-insider. That's mixlr.com/options-insider. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, stocktwits.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions at theoptionsinsider.com. Welcome to the Options Playbook, the program where we break down cutting-edge option strategies and explain how you can incorporate them into your own portfolio. Whether you're looking to grow your capital with some offensive maneuvers or protect your investments with defensive plays, you can find them all in the Options Playbook. The Options Playbook is brought to you by Ally Invest. Anything mentioned today is for educational purposes and is not a recommendation or advice. Options involve risk. Please refer to ally.com/invest/disclosures to review additional risks involved with trading options. Securities offered through Ally Invest Securities LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. Now, let's open the playbook and get started.
All right, everybody. It's that time of year. It is time to count down your top 10 favorite, most popular, most downloaded, most streamed episodes of Options Playbook Radio for the mad, insane record year that was 2022. My name, of course, Mark Longo from theoptionsinsider.com. Your regular host, Mr. Overby, out there traveling with the family for the holidays. But never fear. You will not be without content this week because we know, we have the data. You folks love a good top 10 episode. Spoiler, maybe for what's to come. And if you listen to the Options Bootcamp top 10 episode, then you know exactly what is to come here. But let's get into it, listeners, breaking down the top 10 most popular episodes of Options Playbook Radio for the mad, insane record year that was 2022. All of these did not have to come out in 2022. These were just what you folks chose to download this year. It could be any episode. This show has been running for quite some time. It has quite the back catalog of episodes. So we're just looking at what you folks mainlined the most here. Let's kick it off here, appropriately enough, at number 10, Options Playbook Radio 401. Maybe it's time for a SPY straddle. That came out in February. And again, you know, when you're talking about straddles, you know, things are rocking and rolling, and things were certainly rocking and rolling in February of this year. You know, the year got off to a bang, and it never really looked back. A lot of red on the screen throughout most of the year for most of your asset classes out there. But that's what makes it an interesting and or a challenging year for a lot of folks. That's why you have to pay attention to your education whenever possible. And this year, your number 10 episode, Options Playbook Radio, number 401. Hot on its heels, episode 9 of your top 10 most popular, most downloaded OPR episodes this year. Right behind it, episode 402. Let's Fight the FOMO in SPY. That came out on March 2nd of this year. Brian loves himself a good FOMO fight. And this year, it came in at number 9 on your top 10 countdown. Let's keep the party rolling over there to number 8. This was the OPR 100th episode spectacular. It's actually got broken up into multiple parts. This was part 2, the Twitter Iron Condor. This was the remastered episode that we put out for you this year on March 10th of this year. That was a bit of a holiday best of for you folks out there. We wanted to give you a bit of a gift. So we went back and remastered the 100th episode spectacular, including part 2, which you folks clearly appreciated because that segment was your number 8 most downloaded, most streamed episode of OPR for this year. All right, let's keep the party rolling. Number 7, Options Playbook Radio, 404. So we're jumping from 100 all the way up to 404. Playing stock splits with an Amazon call spread that came out on March 24th of this year. So once again, Amazon was a hot mover and shaker, kind of in the doldrums right now, hanging out at or near pandemic lows as we're recording this. But intriguing times, and earlier this year when Amazon was talking about doing some splits. I want to get on that train with a bit of an Amazon call spread, and Brian did for your number 7 episode of the year. All right, number 6, Options Playbook Radio, dial the needle back a little bit to episode 397. We're a little bearish on Apple. That might be useful right about now. Apple also hanging out at or around, not pandemic lows, but 52-week lows. That came out on January 26th of this year. How about you folks? You still hanging out? Bearish on Apple right now? Or you want to load up on Apple at 52-week lows? You think it has more to give up? Be curious. Might be a good question for question of the week over there at Options on Twitter, listeners. Again, number 6, OPR 397. We're a little bearish on Apple. Number 5, keeping that party rolling up one notch. Literally and in both senses of the word, up one notch, because we're going up to number 5, and we're going up to OPR 398. Time for a butterfly in Amazon. So you folks, if there's a theme here, you folks like Spy and Amazon and Apple. This episode came out on February 2nd of this year. You guys also like yourself a good partay, a good celebration, because episode 4 was the OPR 400th episode spectacular. That came out back on February 17th of this year. That was a fun one, Brian and I getting together to celebrate the joys. That is the Options Playbook Radio program. Not many podcasts make it to 400. Our network a little bit unique. We've been going back a ways, so we have shows that get up over 1,000 here. So we're a little bit of an outlier, but in the traditional podcast world, not many episodes make it that far. So 400 certainly something to celebrate, and we did, and you folks clearly loved it. Your number 4 episode of OPR this year. Right behind it, once again, quite literally, coming in at number 3, we have OPR 399. Time for a short put spread in SPX. That came out on February 9th of this year. It's taking a little bit of a break from the SPY love to dive into SPX. You know, if the volume trends are any indication, you folks are clearly loving yourself some SPX dailies right now. So I have a feeling SPX probably going to make its way onto the show and probably our top 10 countdown again this time next year. All right, here we go, listeners. Now the rubber is hitting the road. Your top 2 episodes of Options Playbook Radio for the year. Number 2, we have Options Playbook Radio 396. Time for a bearish trade in the old S&P. We didn't specify this time. Could be SPY, could be SPX. Pick your poison out there. That came out on January 19th. If you put on a bearish trade in the S&P in January, you're looking pretty good right now. So I tip my cap to you out there, listeners. Hopefully all of you took the advice of that episode. And then, here it is, listeners. The reason why we're doing yet another top 10 holiday spectacular here, countdown here for OPR, is because you folks love it. Because coming in at number 1 this year, once again, the OPR holiday special, your top 5 episodes of 2021. You folks love it so much, we doubled it. We gave you a top 10 this year. I came out on January 5th of last year. So you folks love yourselves a good holiday special. Who are we to not give you what you want yet again out there? On behalf of Brian and indeed myself, I want to thank all of you out there who have continued to make OPR such a popular choice for options education and for some idea generation out there. We've been doing this for a long time as our network shows. We're coming up on our 16-year anniversary next month, which is just terrifying to say out loud. And I can say quite confidently, we've never seen a year like this. We've never seen a month like November. Every month this year has been bigger and better, building up to November, and just insane numbers by any metric you could throw at it. And it's all because of you folks taking the time to listen, to download, to stream, to subscribe on your podcast platform of choice. If you like what you hear, rating and reviewing so other folks can continue to discover the content. It's been running for a while, but there are still new people who need to discover it out there. So we appreciate everything you folks do We literally could not be here without you folks. So we love you all. And Brian, we'll see you back here in the new year with more fun episodes of Options Playbook Radio.
The Options Playbook is brought to you by Ally Invest. Anything mentioned today is for educational purposes and is not a recommendation or advice. Options involve risk. Please refer to ally.com/invest/disclosures to review additional risks involved with trading options. Securities offered through Ally Invest Securities, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC. You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network, the home of the Options Podcast. For more quality options programs, visit theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app available in the iTunes and Google Play stores. Select programs are also available via live stream at mixlr.com/options-insider. That's mixlr.com/options-insider. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, stocktwits.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions at theoptionsinsider.com.